Morning guys, I wanted to post this video. I know most Elvis fans have seen it all before, but I wanted to put it onto my channel and do a bit of a talk over and every now and then make some comments and watch it together with you guys. Let's keep watching.
A superstar, Presley really doesn't need hard sell, but looking around this hotel, you'd never know it. And maybe that's one of the major reasons for the lasting success. Never stop selling. It's like a carnival here, and why not? That is the background of the man who created Presley, Colonel Tom Parker.
And the newscaster there saying that Colonel Tom Parker created Elvis Presley. I know many of you will have very strong views about what he's just said. And I think this is a bit of a misunderstanding with people around the world, that Colonel Tom Parker was the reason Elvis became famous. We all know as Elvis fans that this is very untrue, but yes, he did propel him in the mid-50s into a different dimension. I gotta give him that. But ultimately, it was Elvis's talent and charisma and charm and the way he looked that created Elvis Presley.
Parker's philosophic presence is everywhere. No chance to sell Presley is overlooked. And if it's a captive audience lined up waiting to see a Presley performance, what's $1 to a true fan?
And I will give Colonel Tom Parker the credit for this. He really did know how to generate cash from these concerts. He was the king of merchandise.
It's a long way from Tupelo, Mississippi, and songs like Heartbreak Hotel to posh nightclubs in real hotel settings like this.
And he just very quickly mentions Elvis's humble beginnings in Mississippi, Tupelo, and that he'd come so far in just 15 years. And this is completely true, but I don't think these people realise just how much of an effect Mississippi Tupelo had on Elvis's future as a singer and his style of singing and the shake rag influence that happened from the rhythm and blues people that he grew up with in and around Tupelo. Let's keep watching.
And even further to the audience of 1 billion that Colonel Parker predicts will view Presley's worldwide concert next January.
Sincere.
Presley joined RCA Record president Rocco Laganestra to announce the concert, and nearby, as he always is, just out of camera range, Colonel Tom Parker, there, in the hat, real flesh and blood, just like the image he created, Elvis Presley.
And I don't think the people of today, 2024, really realise just how much of a massive moment this was. Live by satellite around the world. It was almost unheard of. And this really was a historical, I would say, world-changing moment for TV. Let's keep watching.
Who talked about the evolution of that image.
Well, now they shoot me all the way, see, so just the waist down. Now, but I would like to think that I had improved as an entertainer, and I like to get the rapport with an audience, because it's a give and take thing. If you can do that, it works. You know, if the artist or whoever is performing can get that kind of rapport going with the audience, then it pays off. It's good, you know.
But do you?
And heartfelt, honest words there from Elvis in 1973. But this is where this part of the video, for me, becomes a bit sad, because I think you can clearly see that Elvis isn't well in this interview. And I don't like to be negative about Elvis, but I think this is probably the beginning of Elvis becoming more and more unwell, and I think he's become more and more dependent on the prescribed medication. So it's very sad for me to watch this, even though he does look slimmed down and extremely smart and cool, but something just feels wrong in this interview now. Let's just keep watching.
I feel that you have more of that rapport now than you did 15 years ago.
I couldn't answer that. I really couldn't.
Most of Elvis Presley's early music contemporaries are now merely footnotes in the history of rock and roll. or resurrected in some nostalgic gathering. That's because they didn't have the one thing that Elvis Presley had, Colonel Tom Parker, the shrewdest manager in the business.
And do you agree with that, or did he just get lucky in the mid-1950s? This is a very interesting section here where Elvis actually looks really surprised at what he's looking at, and I can tell he's very impressed. He looks classic 1970s Elvis. He looks very smart. I love what he's wearing. He's got all the jewelry on.
This is the first time that I've seen this myself.
That's just the start of this.
And can you imagine just how Elvis feels? He knows that this historic moment is about to begin. The whole world is watching him and talking about this performance, this live concert. And I think he was quite overwhelmed by it, but also very, very proud about it.
And I really should start this conference off by congratulating Elvis, because we will have two new firsts. The first new first, involves Elvis as the first performer to do a worldwide live concert via satellite. A real spectacular. And the second is that we will have a worldwide album via satellite. All of this has been made possible by the joint efforts of a lot of people, and especially including Colonel Tom Parker. Elvis, again, my congratulations for this spectacular.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's very hard to comprehend it, because in 15 years it's hard to comprehend that happening. You know, to all the countries all over the world via satellite, it's very difficult to comprehend. A live concert, to me, is exciting because of all the electricity that's generated in the crowd and on stage. But it's my favorite part of the business, is a live concert.
How do you pace yourself?
Sir?
How do you pace yourself?
You mean physically, vocally, or?
So you are up when you need to be up.
I just, I exercise every day. I vocalize every day. I practice if I'm working or not. No. So I just try to stay in shape all the time, vocally and mentally. And
which is harder?
Well, both is tough. Yeah, you got to work at them, but I don't mind it. You know, it's worth it.
I must say this about when we first approached the various countries around the world, Elvis is certainly the only performer that could do this today. He is well known in every country that we have taught, in fact, in every country in the world, and the acceptance was just fantastic. It wasn't a case of any selling, because, you know, he's been in demand for live performances around the world, but you just can't do this, so this is the way of approaching it. But the acceptance exceeded all of our expectations, Elvis.
Thank you very much. That's very nice, sir.
And the look on Elvis's face, just the last few seconds there, how does that make you feel? And I know this moment around the world propelled Elvis into a completely different league. It was a new generation, the time of the Muhammad Ali fights, and yes, it was being watched in every country in the world. But it just doesn't sit right with me, and I actually feel sorry for Elvis in this clip. He just seems really sad and really lost. And I know as Elvis fans we should be celebrating this historical moment that was about to happen, that Elvis achieved. But I don't feel that way. I feel sad. I feel like this was the beginning of Elvis's downfall. And I don't like seeing him sunken in that chair, looking overworked and tired and almost confused, I would say. But he does answer the questions really well, and he's still extremely intelligent and knows exactly what's happening. I'm very uncomfortable watching this. I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Please give me your comments and your feelings. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm in the right or in the wrong on my opinions? Have a great day, guys.